నిమిషం. రైట్ friends, welcome back to English comprehension and vocabulary discussion. This is 17th session as we have announced yesterday. Today's topic is getting the solar power goal on track. Tomorrow's article is align banks interest with those of bankers. This is Economic Times editorial of today, which will be discussed tomorrow, and for today we are discussing yesterday's editorial. This is getting the solar power goal on track. All of you are familiar with the target of central government, 175 gigawatt of renewable energy by 2022, and out of 175 gigawatt, 100 gigawatt or you can say 1 lakh megawatt is of solar energy. As on date, the installed capacity of solar energy is less than 10,000 megawatt. It is around 9,000 megawatt, but the goal is to reach 1 lakh megawatt by 2022, and it is Herculean task. And getting the solar power goal on track. Here, please look into this. Getting the solar power goal on track, then one brief sentence in Finance Minister Arun Jaitley's budget speech. One small sentence in Finance Minister Arun Jaitley's budget speech hints at that gives a hint with regard to potentially transformative strategy to rev up solar energy pan India. Potentially transformative strategy to rev up solar energy pan India. So, here what the Finance Minister stated is the 7,000 stations in Indian Railways will be provided with solar energy. More than 7,000 stations are there in Indian Railways. Finance Minister in budget speech stated that 7,000 stations will be powered with the solar energy, right. So, here what is the meaning of on track? Getting the solar power on track. On track means it is on schedule, making as per the program, and you can say it is progressing as per the plan. On track means making progress, on schedule, or progressing as planned, and I have given two examples. It seems that Ravichandran Ashwin is on track to create world record as the highest wicket taker. One record was created by him recently, and it appears that Ravichandran Ashwin is on track to create world record. Then Polavaram irrigation project on river Godavari, it is on track and most likely to be commissioned by 2019. On track means as per schedule, going on as per the program. Under those circumstances, we can use it, and it's Ravichandran Ashwin's example also we can use on track, because most likely in that meaning we can use this, right. Then the next word is potentially. Please go back to the paragraph. The paragraph says that getting the solar power goal on track. Why he used this on track here is, as I have already told you, the target is 100,000 megawatt, or you can say 1 lakh megawatt by 2022. We are in 2017, only 5 years left over. Present installation capacity is around 9,000 megawatt. So, to reach from 9,000 to 1 lakh is Herculean task, and in this connection, Prime Finance Minister Arun Jaitley's budget speech hints at, it gives hint with regard to potentially transformative strategy to rev up solar energy pan India, right. Potentially means there is a possibility that something might happen, possibility of something becoming actual, that we call potential. There is lot of potential in this boy to become IAS officer. there is lot of potential to become bank officer. So something may happen, possibility is there, and I gave example with regard to Detroit city. Detroit city is in America, it is almost deserted. Half of the city is deserted because of the collapse of manufacturing. It is potentially dangerous to travel during night time in some areas of Detroit. Potentially, that means most probably something might happen. Then transformative, potentially transformative, most likely it is going to be transformative, that means it is going to be a major change, then only you have to use transformative. Transformative means when something is making major change, not small change. If something is making major change, then you have to use transformative. Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, which was launched in 2000, is potentially a transformative project of rural India. All the rural habitations above 200 population or 500 population are connected with major roads, connected with blacktop roads. So it is a transformative project. Mahatma Gandhi Narega is a transformative project because it is seeing major change as a poverty alleviation program. So this can become, the idea of finance minister can become potentially transformative project, giving solar power to 7,000 stations is going to be transformative project, and it may rev up. What is the meaning of rev up? Rev up means to become more active. Reliance Jio is getting revved up for the launch of new products. For the launch of new products, Reliance Jio is getting revved up. Revved up means to become more and more active than normal. Under those circumstances only, you have to use rev up. So, this 7,000 railway stations solar energy will transform the total landscape. That means it will be potentially transformative project which will be revved up pan India. What is the meaning of pan India? Pan India means presence across the nation. Several times you talk about pan India, pan America, pan Africa. What is the meaning? If it is present everywhere, if it is present in almost all parts of the country, then you can say pan India. Airtel and Vodafone are the telecom companies having pan India presence. Airtel and Vodafone are there in almost most of the regions of the country. So, to tell clearly that Airtel and Vodafone have got presence in most parts of the country, we use the term pan India. Let us come back to the passage. This specifically, this paragraph says, one brief sentence in Prime Finance Minister Arun Jaitley's budget speech hints at potentially transformative strategy to rev up, that means to make it more active, solar energy pan India. Why he used pan India here? Because of the reason railway network is there almost across the country. So, 7,000 stations are electrified with solar energy. It means it is going to be pan India across the country at most of the places in the country. It will give momentum to solar energy. That is the meaning of this paragraph. Let us look at the next paragraph. Next paragraph is the proposal to feed through solar energy about 7,000 railway stations with the solar energy could go a long way in meeting the national goal. In between two commas, let us leave it, read the sentence, then you read this in between commas. In between commas is normally additional information or supporting the real sentence. So, here with the solar 7,000 railway stations with the solar power could go a long way in meeting the national goal to have 100 gigawatt of solar power generation by 2022. Will go a long way. Several times we use this. What is the meaning of this? let us look at it, will go a long way means will be adequate, will be successful, will be sufficient. So, 7,000 stations are provided with solar power, it will be sufficient to meet the target of 1 lakh megawatt by 2022. I have given example here. Shifting to digital mode of remittances, shifting to digital mode of remittances will go a long way in widening the tax net. That means it will be sufficient, or you can say it will be successful in bringing more and more people into the tax net. So, will go a long way means it will be successful, it will be adequate, it will be sufficient. Under those conditions this is to be used. So, 7,000 railway stations with solar power will meet the national goal of 100 gigawatt by 2022, if not exceeding. It will at least meet the national goal, if not exceeding, right. So, go a long way means it will be successful in meeting particular thing, right. So, look at the next. If the railways can gainfully leverage land and buildings space, railways has got lot of land spread across pan India. So, if the railways can gainfully means to their advantage, gainfully leverage land and building space. Leverage has got several meanings. If I say Airtel is highly leveraged company, Airtel is highly leveraged company, what is the meaning of it? Its debt is quite high. High leverage means when the debt, that means when the loans taken by the company are much more than their equity or ownership. When loans taken by the company are much more in comparison to comparable companies, when it is much more in comparison to the equity of that particular company, then you can say the company is highly leveraged. Airtel is highly leveraged company if I say it has got more debts. And another meaning is using the resources in order to achieve something. Using the resources in order to achieve something, in order to benefit more and more. So, under those circumstances also leverage is used. The organization can reach greater heights if it makes leverage of its resources. Similarly, if the railways makes leverage of its land and buildings, railway has got lot of land, lot many buildings. If railway makes use of these land and buildings to its advantage, then say 20 megawatt of solar capacity in each of the 7,000 stations. For each station, if 20 megawatt of solar capacity is provided, it would greatly increase green renewable energy nationally. Renewable energy, that means you can renew it. Solar energy is renewable energy, wind energy is renewable energy. Green energy, what is the meaning of green? Green means environmentally destructive carbon emissions will not be there. When environmental destructive releases are not there as byproduct, you call that as green product. So, green energy means environmentally destructive carbon emissions will not be there in solar energy and wind energy. That is why he used this term green renewable power nationally. So, 20 megawatt at each station into 7,000 stations, 1,40,000 megawatt. So, the purpose is served, right. So, for this railways has to leverage land and building space, right. The railways would be in a win-win situation. What is win-win situation? It will be mutually beneficial. Railways should be in a win-win situation. All of you are familiar with the recent news item that Vodafone and Idea are going to be merged. Vodafone and Idea are going to be merged. So, I put one example here. the proposed merger of Vodafone and Idea will be win-win situation for both the companies. That means because of this merger, both the companies will be benefited. That is the meaning of win-win situation. Here, the railways would be in a win-win situation in switching over to solar power. Switching over to solar power, railways will be in win-win situation. There are several advantages. Railway will produce its own power, and at the same time, railways at present is paying much higher tariff for the power companies. You see, given that, he is giving the reason also for that. Why he talked about it as a win-win situation, he gave the reason. That's why he has started with, given that the railways pay for power at the highest commercial rates. Domestic rates are different, domestic rates are less, commercial rates are high. So, railway is paying to power companies at commercial rates, sourcing solar power on site. On site means at the station itself. Solar power will be generated at the station itself, and that would save money and environment. That is why he called green energy. So, there are several advantages. Environment will be saved, country will be benefited, 1 lakh megawatt will be met. Next point is power will be sourced at on site. Third point, next point is this paying higher charges at commercial rates to electricity companies will be avoided. So, because of all these things, he used this term win-win situation. Right. Let us look at the next paragraph. There is a widespread energy poverty and the lack of quality power in large parts of India. Large parts of India, there is energy poverty, widespread. Widespread means when it is happening at many places or when it is existing in many places. We call widespread. When it is existing in many places, slums are spread across several cities. And another example I am giving, there is a widespread poverty across the African region. In Africa, several countries are affected because of poverty. That is why I used this example. There is a widespread poverty across African region. Widespread means existing or happening at many places. That is the meaning of widespread. Energy poverty. Why he used energy poverty? He used this term because there is lack of access to modern energy services. Poverty means people are not able to have food, shelter. Those conditions are poverty conditions. Here he used energy poverty. Energy poverty means when people lack access to modern energy sources, you call it energy poverty. As per the International Energy Agency report, 17% of global population lack access of electricity and 38% of global population lack clean cooking fuel, right. So, that is why he used energy poverty. There is widespread energy poverty and the lack of quality power in large parts of India, and concurrently, simultaneously, these words are quite often used. Our greenhouse gas emissions are large and rising fast, and at the same time greenhouse gas emissions are large and rising fast, and concurrently means happening at the same time. You have to call concurrently. The synonym is simultaneously. Concurrently, please look into this example. GTV, Sony HD, they are beaming two super hit movies at the same time. Then you can say that two super hit movies are being telecast concurrently by rival TV channels. Concurrently, that means happening or existing at the same time. Then go back to the paragraph. Here the paragraph says, there is widespread energy poverty and concurrently at the same time simultaneously our greenhouse gas emissions like carbon dioxide emissions are large and rising fast. So, it is the time to go for solar power, that is the meaning of this paragraph. Next, the way ahead. Way ahead means the future course of action, the future, the road ahead, the way ahead is to speedily concretize forward looking plans for solar power. Speedily, without much loss of time, you have to speedily concretize. Concretize means something to make it happen with concrete plans. Our politicians talk about many things, but only few things are concretized. The meaning of concretized is to put it into action with action plans. So, our politicians talk about several things, but very few will become concretized. So, the way ahead, the road ahead, the way forward is to speedily concretize forward looking plans for solar power at railway stations and focus on meeting lighting demand in adjoining areas too. Not only railway stations, in the adjoining areas, so as to reap economies of scale. These words I would like to explain. The way ahead I have already told you. Here one example I have given. I am way ahead of you. One boy has prepared well in advance banking awareness and current affairs. So, this sentence is apt. I am way ahead of you. I have already completed preparation of banking awareness and current affairs. So, in the present passage, it is used with the context, the way ahead, that means the road ahead, the future course of action. With that orientation, this word is used, right? And focus. Focus means concentrating on one particular thing so as to get desired result. Focus means central or most important thing. The CMD of BHEL should focus on improving productivity. There may be several areas, several duties of CMD, but the main focus should be on improving productivity. So, in that context this is used. Then adjoining. Adjoining means here in the passage he used adjoining with the theme that areas adjoining to railway stations. When railway stations are electrified with solar energy, adjoining rural areas or urban areas can also be given solar power. So, adjoining means, here one example is there, you can say nearer to, next to. Here in a movie theater, when you are going to movie, you can say there are 5 members in the family and all the 5 members of the family want adjoining seats in the cinema hall. You cannot get one seat here, one seat here, one seat here, like that. All 5 must be adjoining, right? Reaping the benefits. Reaping means, there are 2 meanings last time we discussed. Rooftop farmers reaped a rich harvest. Rooftop farmers, farmers reaping the harvest. After cultivation, when they are getting returns, you can say reaping. Then similarly, in the financial jargon, the shareholders reaped the benefits of boom in IT industry, large amount of profit. When somebody is making large amount of profit, you have to use this word, not small amount, not 2%, 3%, 4%. When somebody is benefited with large amount, then only you have to use reap. The shareholders reaped benefits of boom in IT industry. Similarly, economies of scale. This is quite often used in economics. What is economies of scale? This is the advantage that arises with increased output of a product. Here I gave one example. You have ordered 500 wedding cards. If you are ordered 500 wedding cards, then they will charge you each card 10 rupees. But at the same time, if you are ordering 5,000, same wedding cards 5,000, then that people will offer you rupees 8 per each cost. How it is reduced? Because of economies of scale. When productivity, when the total output is increased, then what will happen? Costs will come down. So, economies of scale is very important in economics. So, here let us come back to the paragraph. You will clearly understand the way ahead is to speedily concretize forward looking plans for solar power at railway stations and focus on meeting lighting demand in adjoining areas too, that means in the villages and towns surrounding railway stations. So, as to reason is also he is giving, reason is so as to reap, so as to get huge profits through economies of scale. That means when 7,000 stations are electrified along with the adjoining areas, it is economies of scale. So, as to reap economies of scale, right. So, these important words we learned, and next is it would gel well with the ongoing plan to revamp and upgrade railway stations. Here 3 words, it would gel well. What is meant by gel? Gel means there are 2 meanings. One is whatever we use for our hair, that is gel, and gel is used in economics also to become firm. You see, I gave 2 examples. You will be very clear with these 2 examples. One is I have been using this hair gel for the past 20 years. He is using this particular hair gel for the past 20 years. Gel means become firm. There may be several ideas, but they have to be gelled, that means they have to be concretized. The meaning is becoming firm. I have given one example here. They talked a lot about starting a company. These people, they talked a lot about forming a company or starting a company, but their plans never gelled, never concretized, never became firm. So, under those circumstances, this is used. And I am not going into what is noun, what is verb. The first one is noun, the second one is verb. Don't go into that complexities. Try to understand English in a normal way. Here gel is used as which is used for hair, and on the other side this gel is used basically to understand that it is becoming firm, right. So, here let us go back. It would gel well, that means it will become firm. It would gel well. It will concretize well, and it will have synergy with the ongoing plan to revamp and upgrade railway stations. There is a difference between the revamp and upgrade. What is the meaning of revamping? I show you with one example. Revamping, left side picture, right side picture, same office. If it is properly rearranged and if it is properly reorganized, that is a revamping. If it is properly rearranged, reorganized in a systematic fashion, that is a revamping. The office was revamped recently. The same office, here you see, files are kept here and there, and again one strict officer came and he revamped the office. The office was revamped with proper organization. At the same time, another word, upgrade. Upgrade means to make it to higher standards. That is upgradation. Revamp is different, upgradation is different. Revamp means without improving it in grade, only reorganization will take place. That is revamping. Upgradation means raising to the higher grade or standard. Upgradation, you are seeing lot many escalators in railway stations, lot many lifts in railway stations in recent times. Important stations of Indian Railways are being upgraded with the provision of escalators, lifts. So, upgradation is different, revamp is different, and let us come back to the sentence. It would gel well with the ongoing plan. At present, a plan in Indian Railways is going on to revamp and upgrade railway stations. And for the solar assets, he is talking about solar, there would be much potential for unlocking value, there would be much potential for unlocking the value and divestment, that means the disinvestment, following listing on the stock market and sooner rather than later. So, here disinvestment following listing on the stock market. Here the sequence I am telling you, please understand this, the sequence what he want to convey is provide solar panels at 7,000 stations, connect with adjoining areas, subsequently list in the stock market, listing in the stock market, and subsequently disinvest part of the investment. First invest, then go public through listing in stock exchanges, through disinvestment. That means government can get back the money by selling certain percentage of their stake. Government can get back their money by selling a certain percentage of stake after value addition, and this is to be done without loss of time and sooner rather than later. So, here I will tell you about this disinvestment or divestment. We learned several times. Disinvestment means selling part of the stake in public sector enterprises is disinvestment. 5%, 10%, 15% stake is sold by keeping majority stake, that is minority stake sale. Strategic sale means selling it away, everything is strategic sale. So, minority stake sale he is talking about. First establish solar plants, then increase the value, connect adjoining areas, subsequently list it in stock exchanges, then subsequently sell it partly, then you will get lot of money, that is unlocking the potential or unlocking the value. So, here these words sooner rather than later, he used sooner rather than later. The meaning is without too much delay, you have to do all these things fast. So, our educational institutions should be upgraded to world standards sooner rather than later. We have to do without much delay. So, here the sentence clearly says that do all these things, subsequently list it in the stock markets, sell part of the stake for unlocking value. What is the meaning of unlocking value? By selling part of the stake, you will get lot of money, that is unlocking value. Then and sooner rather than later, right. So, look at the next paragraph. This is the way forward for the railways. He is suggesting the way forward, the future course of action for the railways is to proactively access funds. Proactively, what is the meaning of proactive? On your own, if you are taking some decision so as to make some change, it is proactive. Proactive means taking action to make changes yourself without insistence by somebody. If you are taking some action, that is proactive. So, government officials will become more and more proactive provided some accountability is kept on them. So, one should be proactive. Nobody need to tell you, you have to take some action so as to cause a change in the society. That is the meaning of proactive, right. So, here the way forward for the railways is to proactively, you have to take initiative, you have to ask from the clean environment cess. What is clean environment cess? On every burning of 1 ton of coal in India, burning of on each ton of coal, government is collecting rupees 400 as clean environment cess, and lot many funds are there in clean environment cess corpus. And seek accelerated depreciation. Accelerated depreciation means process of losing value. You see, new car, it may be 10 lakhs today, next year its value may be 9 lakhs, after 2 years its value may be 7 lakhs, 6 lakhs. So, loss in value will take place because of wear and tear, that is known as depreciation. In the accounting, accelerating depreciation, that is what he meant to convey. So, here depreciation means loss in value because of wear and tear as the time passes. So, here he is talking about seek accelerated depreciation, generation based incentives. Incentives, all of you are familiar with incentives, and explore other innovative financing options. He is suggesting everything. That means to provide electricity, solar, in 7,000 stations, you have to take proactive approach, take funds from clean environment cess and seek accelerated depreciation, generation based incentives. Incentives must be based on generation. Incentive means if something is achieved, you have to give something as incentive then, and explore other innovative financing options, altogether new way financing options to actualize its solar power targets in a time bound fashion, right. So, here if you want in detail incentive, incentive means something that encourages a person or organization to do something. Cash incentives will go a long way in increasing digital transactions. I have already explained you about will go a long way, it will meet the objective. So, cash incentives will go a long way in increasing digital transactions. Then explore, explore means search and discover about something. I talked about rural India. The best way to explore rural areas is to travel on foot. If you travel on foot in rural areas, you know about the living habits of the people. So, the best way to explore rural India is to travel on foot. And innovative, innovative means using new ideas. One should be innovative. Innovation and scientific temper must be inculcated in young minds so as to take country forward. So, innovation means thinking altogether new. Because of innovation only, Facebook came into existence, Google came into existence. So, innovation must be the need of the hour. So, by using innovative funding options, one should do all these things. The railways have a path breaking opportunity. Path breaking. Path breaking means very original, or you can say innovative pioneering. Path breaking means no one has so far gone in that route. If you are inventing altogether new which will benefit the society as a whole, that is a path breaking innovation. I have given one example. Recently people are talking about gene editing. Recently gene editing is into the news. Editing the genes. Genetic code of the human beings is being edited. And this will have far reaching consequences as far as cancer treatment is concerned. So, their path breaking research, it is not normal, it is something new, something innovative, something path breaking research in gene editing opened up a new era in cancer treatment. So, here railways have a path breaking opportunity to adopt solar power for lighting purposes and in the process handsomely boost its market capitalization. Boost, we have already discussed about this word. Boost means this is increase or improve, encourage or help. Under those circumstances we use boost. Here I have given two examples. Liberalization has given boost to the Indian economy in several ways. Liberalization has given boost to Indian economy and Kerala state government took several measures to boost tourism. Kerala is famous for its tourism potential. So, several measures taken by Kerala government are with a view to boost its tourism. Then market capitalization. Market capitalization means companies' total shares outstanding in the market, companies' total shares multiplied by its market price. Companies' shares multiplied by market price is market capitalization. You and I may be having shares of Tata Consultancy Services. If you multiply all the shares with today's market value of share, then it is market capitalization. So, market capitalization of railways will also increase. Let us go back to this last paragraph. These railways have a path breaking opportunity to adopt solar power for lighting purposes and in the process handsomely boost its market capitalization. The track is clear all the way home. The track is very clear. There are no hurdles all the way. What is the meaning of all the way? From start to the end. All the way means from beginning to the end, from start to the finish, everything is clear. That is why he used this sentence. Please read this sentence carefully. This is the track is clear from start to finish. The track is clear. That is why he used all the way home. All the way home means from start to the finish, the track is clear, there are no hurdles. So, railways can go ahead with this plan. This is as per this editorial of the Economic Times. So, friends, tomorrow we will discuss align banks' interest with those of bankers. This is Economic Times editorial of today. We are going to deliberate tomorrow in the similar fashion, right friends. This is most important comprehension analysis. If you follow this for 6 months, I am pretty sure that your English vocabulary will increase, English grammar will increase, knowledge in banking and economy will increase, and you may be confidently able to face interviews also, and it will be beneficial in many ways because it amalgamates comprehensively English comprehension and vocabulary, economy and banking. All these aspects are amalgamated in one particular lecture, that is a comprehension and vocabulary. Right friends, with this let us conclude today's comprehension and vocabulary. Have a nice day. Thank you. Please do join tomorrow.